The command center on Earth's orbital station was silent, save for the hum of machinery and the occasional beep of monitors. Dr. Lena Armitage stood at the heart of the room, her sharp gaze fixed on the flickering holographic display. The alien voice crackled through the speakers, distorted and filled with static. "This is Aurelian Union, Sector 43? Catastrophe unfolding. Ancient virus." The voice was frantic, desperate. Lena leaned closer. "Boost the signal," she ordered. A technician adjusted the controls, but the transmission grew more chaotic. "All species. No cure. Andarax, humans, immune." The words sent a chill through the room. Before anyone could react, the transmission ended in a burst of static. "What do you mean, immune?" Lena muttered under her breath, as if the dead signal could answer her. Behind her, General Elias Brooks crossed his arms, his weathered face grim. "Dr. Armitage, any idea what we're dealing with?" "Not yet," Lena replied, straightening. "But if this is galaxy-wide, it's bigger than anything we've ever faced. I'll need a team to analyze the data immediately." Brooks nodded. "You'll have everything you need. And I'm putting Captain Ryan Vega in charge of getting you to Andarax. If that's where the answers are, we need boots on the ground yesterday." Lena hesitated. She had heard of Ryan Vega, a decorated explorer and former soldier with a reputation for reckless brilliance. She wasn't sure she wanted to depend on someone like that, but there was no time to argue. "Understood," she said. 2 hours later, Lena stood in the hangar bay of the Dauntless, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. The sleek, silver hull gleamed under the station lights, a testament to humanity's growing place in the stars. Ryan Vega greeted her with a lopsided grin as she stepped aboard. His easy demeanor contrasted sharply with the grim situation. "Dr. Armitage, welcome aboard. Hope you don't mind tight quarters. We're not exactly a luxury cruiser." "Captain Vega," Lena replied coolly. "Let's focus on the mission, shall we?" Ryan's smile faded slightly. "Fair enough. Let's get to it." As the Dauntless departed the station, the crew gathered in the briefing room. Lena displayed the fragmented alien message on a central holoscreen. "This transmission was sent from the Aurelian Union, one of the largest galactic coalitions," she began. "It mentions an ancient virus spreading across the galaxy, targeting all known species except humans." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Ryan leaned forward. "Why us? Why are we immune?" "I don't know yet," Lena admitted. "But the message mentioned a place called Andarax. From what little I've gathered, it might be the origin of the virus, or where the creators left some kind of solution." "Creators?" one of the engineers asked. "The Andaraxi," Lena explained. "An extinct civilization known for bioengineering on a galactic scale. If they made this virus, we need to find out why." Ryan leaned back, arms crossed. "So, we're flying into the epicenter of a galactic pandemic to uncover secrets from a species that wiped itself out. Sounds fun. Would you rather stay behind and wait for the virus to find Earth?" Lena shot back. Ryan's grin returned. "Touché." Midway through their journey, the Dauntless intercepted a drifting alien vessel. The crew gathered on the bridge as the ship's automated systems scanned the derelict craft. "Life signs?" Ryan asked. "None," the pilot replied. "But there's something strange." The holo display showed the interior of the ship. Alien corpses floated weightlessly in the dark, their bodies twisted in unnatural angles. Words were scrawled across the walls in a language no one recognized. Lena squinted at the screen. "Can you enhance that text?" The pilot complied, and the words became clear. The translation software struggled but produced a single haunting phrase: "Humans were chosen." The room fell silent. "What the hell does that mean?" Ryan asked. Lena didn't answer immediately. She was staring at the screen, her mind racing. "We need to get to Andarax. Fast." Ryan turned to the pilot. "Punch it. I want us there yesterday." As the ship surged forward, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The words on the screen burned in her mind, a question she didn't want to answer. Why were humans immune? And who or what had chosen them? Ending scene. On the darkened bridge, Ryan and Lena stood side by side, watching the starfield ahead. "You think we'll find answers there?" Ryan asked. "We'd better," Lena replied. "Because if we don't, Earth might be next." Outside the viewport, the swirling darkness of Andarax's dying star loomed, a silent sentinel guarding the galaxy's most dangerous secrets. The dying star cast an eerie crimson glow over Andarax's barren surface. The Dauntless descended cautiously, its thrusters kicking up plumes of black dust. From orbit, the planet had appeared lifeless, its landscape scarred by ancient wars or natural catastrophes. Up close it was worse. Landing zone secured, the pilot announced. Ryan Vega stood at the viewport, his sharp eyes scanning the ruins in the distance. Doesn't exactly scream answers, does it? Lena Armitage joined him, adjusting her visor. The Andaraxi left something here. The records we found suggest it's underground, a vault. Let's hope it holds the key to all of this. The team suited up and disembarked, the oppressive silence of Andarax broken only by the crunch of boots on rock. Lena led the way, her scanner emitting faint beeps as it detected faint energy readings. Over there, she said, pointing to a jagged structure half buried in the dirt. It resembled a temple, its walls etched with faded glyphs and carvings. Looks like a welcoming committee, Ryan quipped, motioning to several crumbled statues. Their humanoid shapes were twisted, as if warped by some unseen force. Lena knelt by one of the statues, brushing off centuries of grime. These carvings predate the Andaraxi extinction. They were warning future visitors. She glanced back at the team. About what, though? Guess we're about to find out, Ryan said, stepping toward the entrance. Inside, the vault was a labyrinth of corridors, lit only by the team's flashlights. The walls pulsed faintly with an otherworldly energy, as if the structure itself were alive. Lena's scanner buzzed wildly. The energy readings are off the charts. Whatever powers this place has been running for millennia. Ryan gestured for the team to spread out. Stay alert. No telling what's waiting for us. As they advanced, Lena found a terminal embedded in the wall. She tapped a series of glyphs and a holographic display flared to life. Alien symbols swirled before her, slowly resolving into images. A star map, a genome sequence and a depiction of the virus. It's a failsafe, Lena murmured. What is? Ryan asked, stepping closer. The virus, she replied. The Andaraxi created it as a reset mechanism. It's designed to target all sentient life in the galaxy. A biological purge. Ryan frowned. Then why are humans immune? Lena hesitated, her gaze lingering on the hologram. Because the Andaraxi, or whoever came before them, programmed it that way. Humanity was left untouched, but I don't know why. Before Ryan could respond, the vault shook violently. A deep rumble echoed through the corridors. What was that? One of the crew shouted. Lena's face paled as she studied the display. We've triggered a defense mechanism. From the shadows, mechanical constructs emerged, their limbs bristling with energy weapons. Back to the entrance. Ryan barked, drawing his weapon. The team fought their way out, the constructs relentless in their pursuit. As they reached the surface, Lena stopped, clutching a small artifact she'd grabbed from the terminal. What the hell are you doing? Ryan yelled. This, Lena said, holding up the artifact, is a clue to stopping the virus. It's connected to something called the beacon. Then let's hope it's worth it, Ryan said, pulling her toward the ship as the constructs closed in. As the Dauntless lifted off, Lena stared out the viewport, her grip tight on the artifact. The vault confirmed our worst fears, she said quietly. This virus was made to end everything. And if the beacon doesn't stop it? Ryan placed a hand on her shoulder. Then we'll find another way. Humanity always does. Ahead, the coordinates for the beacon glowed ominously on the ship's display, the next step in their perilous journey. The beacon's location hung in the void like a challenge, an ancient structure orbiting the event horizon of a black hole. The Dauntless approached cautiously, the gravitational forces pulling at its hull as the crew stared at the massive edifice ahead. It shimmered with an unnatural light, its surface etched with the same glyphs Lena had seen in the vault. This thing has been here for eons, Lena murmured, her voice tinged with awe. And it's still active. Ryan Vega leaned forward in his seat, studying the structure through the viewport. If this beacon can stop the virus, why hasn't anyone used it before? Maybe they didn't know how, Lena replied. Or maybe they were afraid of the consequences. Her words hung heavy in the air. Docking with the beacon was a harrowing process. The black hole's gravity tugged at the ship relentlessly, and the docking clamps groaned under the strain. When the airlock finally sealed, Ryan and Lena led the team inside. The interior of the beacon was vast and cathedral-like, its walls pulsing with an eerie blue glow. Ancient holograms flickered to life as the humans advanced, depicting scenes of galactic history. Civilizations rose and fell, their stories ending abruptly in a cascade of light, representing the virus's arrival. This is a record, Lena said, her voice hushed. A warning maybe? Ryan pointed to a central console glowing at the heart of the chamber. That looks like the main control. Let's find out what it can do. Lena approached cautiously, her scanner buzzing as she accessed the console. Alien symbols filled the air, slowly translating into a series of options. It's asking for confirmation, she said. If we activate the beacon, it will emit a signal designed to neutralize the virus. Sounds perfect, Ryan said. What's the catch? Lena hesitated, scrolling through the glyphs. Her face paled. The signal is tied to the galaxy's psychic web, the collective consciousness of all sentient species. If we activate it, it could sever humanity's connection to the web permanently. We'd be isolated, cut off from the rest of the galaxy forever. Ryan exhaled sharply. So it's save everyone else or keep humanity in the loop. Great. Their debate was interrupted by a transmission from the edge of the system. A coalition of alien ships had arrived, survivors of the galactic catastrophe. Human vessel, the voice snarled, you will activate the beacon immediately. Your species is immune to this plague, but the rest of us are dying. Do your duty? Lena responded, her tone firm. We're evaluating the situation. The consequences. There is no time for your deliberations, the alien interrupted. Do this, or you will be held accountable for the galaxy's extinction. The transmission cut off, and moments later, alarms blared as an infected fleet emerged from hyperspace. Twisted, virus-ravaged ships barreled toward the beacon, their pilots driven mad by the contagion. Ryan drew his weapon as the chamber shook violently. They're here. Lena, what's the plan? I need time to reprogram the beacon, she said, frantically working at the console. I might be able to neutralize the virus without severing humanity's connection. Do it, Ryan said, raising his communicator. All hands defend the beacon. As the team braced for battle, Lena's fingers flew over the controls, the alien glyphs blurring together in her mind. The beacon hummed with energy, its ancient mechanisms stirring for the first time in millennia. Ryan glanced back at her. You'd better be right about this. Lena didn't look up. We're about to find out. Outside, the infected fleet closed in, the battle for the galaxy's future beginning in earnest. The beacon chamber trembled as explosions echoed through the ancient structure. The dauntless weapons fired relentlessly, holding back the infected fleet, but it was clear their time was running out. Lena Armitage worked feverishly at the console, sweat dripping down her face as alien glyphs shifted and reformed under her touch. The beacon's mechanisms were incomprehensibly advanced, but she was beginning to see a pattern, a way to alter its programming. Lena, status? Ryan Vega shouted over the comms, his voice sharp with urgency. I'm close? Lena called back. But it's delicate. One wrong move and... The chamber rocked again, cutting her off. Ryan stumbled in, weapon in hand, his face smeared with soot. We don't have time for delicate. The infected are breaching the outer defenses, and the coalition fleet is demanding answers. Lena looked up, her eyes blazing. If I activate the beacon now, it will neutralize the virus but sever humanity's connection to the galactic psychic web. We'll be isolated forever. Better isolated than extinct. Ryan shot back. Lena hesitated, then turned the console toward him. There's another way. I can reprogram the signal to only target the virus, but I'll have to interface directly with the beacon. It could overload my neural pathways, and kill me. Ryan's jaw tightened. No. There has to be another option. There isn't, Lena said firmly. This is what we came here for. Humanity was chosen for a reason, to make this choice. And I'm making it. Ryan stepped closer, his voice softening. Lena, you don't have to do this. She gave him a faint smile. Yes, I do. You're the one who told me humanity always finds a way. This is it. The infected ships smashed into the beacon's perimeter, their hulls tearing apart as their pilots succumbed to madness. The coalition fleet tried to hold them off, but their numbers were dwindling. Inside the beacon, Ryan and the remaining crew prepared for a last stand. Do it, Ryan said finally, his voice heavy with resignation. Lena stepped into the beacon's core, a swirling vortex of energy that crackled with unimaginable power. She placed her hands on the central interface, and the glyphs flared brighter than ever, bathing her in blinding light. The beacon roared to life. Pain lanced through Lena's body, but she gritted her teeth and pushed forward, focusing on the signal. She visualized the virus's molecular structure, isolating its psychic signature. The beacon amplified her thoughts, broadcasting the solution across the galaxy. Ryan watched helplessly as Lena's body convulsed, the beacon's energy surging through her. Lena, he shouted, but there was no response. Finally, the beacon released a pulse of light so brilliant it turned the black hole's event horizon into a halo. The infected ships froze mid-attack, their pilots collapsing into merciful unconsciousness. The coalition fleet fell silent, their systems flooded with relief. When the light faded, Lena's lifeless body lay in the beacon's core, her face peaceful. Ryan knelt beside her, grief etched into his features. "You did it," he whispered. A coalition transmission crackled through the comms. "The virus is gone. Humanity has saved us all." Ryan rose, his expression hardening. "And don't forget it." Back on the Dauntless, Ryan stared out at the starfield, Lena's artifact clutched in his hand. The beacon now stood silent, its purpose fulfilled. Humanity's role in the galaxy had changed forever. They were no longer just survivors, they were the galaxy's saviors. But as Ryan looked into the vastness of space, he couldn't shake the feeling that the beacon's creators had left more questions than answers. And those answers would have to wait for another day.